All right, HyperFast Nation, how are you guys doing today? Hope you're having a great Monday. We're ready for some live real estate Q&A, and I've got our head inside sales agent, Dustin Brown, with me today. And Dustin's role on the team, for those of you who don't know, he manages the inside sales agents. They are the ones that receive all the inbound calls, make all the outbound calls, book all the appointments for our buyer agents, our sellers agents. He's got some really cool examples today of some recent calls that we're going to go over. If you have any questions during this, things you'd want to get answered on what Dustin's talking about or anything real estate, drop them in the comments and I'll get to them. And here's the big news, which you guys may know already. I'm giving out tickets to what are we giving out tickets to? The HyperFast Sales Summit. It's a 2-day event we're doing in November featuring Ryan Serhant. We're also going to have Nick Baldwin, Tristan Ahumada from Lab Code Agents. Carrie, of course, will be there. We'll have Ricky Caruth. We've got about 10 more speakers that we are going to announce in the next couple of months leading up to the event. We have not officially kicked off the event yet, but it's coming soon. What that means is we still have pre-launch pricing available. All right, so pre-launch pricing is going to be cheaper than early bird pricing. There's a link in the description. I don't know if it's in the comments. If it's not, someone from my team will put it in there. It's just bit.ly link. Summit pre-launch, but I'll have someone on my team put it in there if you can't see it, but it is in the description. And that's going to be your cheapest way to get tickets. We've got 3 different levels: general admission, we've got gold. Gold gets upgraded seating. Gold gets access to a pre-event or Monday night, the first day of the event, they get access to a happy hour. Gold and VIP do, and we're gonna have speakers at that happy hour. They also get our Mayor of the Town course. And they get, what else? They get the live stream. Yeah, you see, they get the live stream of the event. Now VIPs, they get all of that plus front row seating, lunch with Ryan Serhant, lunch with the second keynote speaker, which we haven't revealed yet. And the day before the event, the VIPs get to tour our office. Right, it's a half day tour. They get to ask Carrie and myself, any questions that they want. Last year, that a lot of people said, despite having Grant Cardone and Billie Jean at the event, that was their favorite part. So it's just a behind the scenes look at how we sell $500 million a year, and that's going to be awesome. All right, so stick around to the end. We're giving out a ticket to this event to someone. And by the way, if you didn't read in the description, or if it's not showing up yet, if we get to 1,000 subscribers, right? We're over 500 now. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away another ticket. So tell all your friends about it. Share this with everyone. Let's get to 1,000 and keep HyperFast Agent Nation growing strong. Sean, thanks for the comment there. I love that you love our courses. Let us know what your favorite one is, by the way. I'm curious to know what your favorite one is. Dustin, let's talk about some of your recent appointments. Dustin's had, I think, not 1, not 2, but 3 examples of people on the phone that were ready to book. I think they were all seller leads, but they tried to do the call me back tomorrow, call me back in a couple of days. They tried to put it off, and a lot of people say they'll get back to you. They'll call you back later, and the old joke, right? I've been called a lot of things in my life, but I've never been called back. So you always want to close now. He's going to tell you.
Yeah.
So describe the first scenario. What happened?
First one was a seller who is selling a rental property. And we started talking about, we want to go in, do an evaluation. Of course, we want to see the home to get some, the analysis together. And she told me that there's renters still in the home, so we can't go in the home. So she started talking about, waiting until the beginning of next month to meet us. And I said, hey, why don't we just get together and we'll talk about our strategies, our team, how we do so well in the area. And she, she's like, well, okay. And I said, hey, let's just come to your home where you live right now. So we scheduled to meet her at her home. We're going by tomorrow. So instead of pushing out till next month, let's just, do it right now while the iron is hot. And, we're going to meet her in the next 24 hours. So, even if we can't get in the house, we still want to get in front of her. So that was the first example, and it's on the books.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great one.
Yeah. I could have easily said, oh, yeah, I'll call you back. That makes sense. But, it's a little uncomfortable to ask, again, for something different. But, I mean, you're already there.
And the call you back later and call you tomorrow, next week, like, it just leaves too much uncertainty. That's just look at that as an objection. And like every objection, your goal should be to overcome it. All right. What was the second scenario that came up?
Second one was a seller who they wanted to meet in November because they're, thinking about selling. That was kind of their time frame. And I just said, well, if you could, get the right price for your home now, do you think you'd make a move sooner? And they said, yeah, I would. So they're on the books for Monday of next week, so a week out. But, a lot of times when you're kind of feeling a little bit lazy on the phone, okay, yeah, we'll give you a call back in a few months, but just coming back. A lot of times it doesn't take a lot of back and forth. A lot of times it's just one extra question, and the people are like, yeah, that makes sense, so let's do it. And, that's probably a $1.3 million home that, we'll be in there a week from today. So,
wow,
that was a good one.
That's a lot of COMO. You know about the COMO, right? Commission.
A lot of COMO, baby.
Yeah, push through those objections. All right, the third example I like a lot because it gives you a little bit of a behind the sneak peek of something cool that we've rolled out. We don't just want to do lead gen.
That was Calendly. That was it.
Huh?
The second one was the Calendly.
I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was saving the good one for the end. It was the hardest objection.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
On Calendly, guys, it's important to know how we do this, right? So, and I walk through this kind of stuff more in my inner circle, right? That's our community where Carrie and I get on live multiple times a week. Our team is posting in there. People are asking us questions. But one thing we've rolled out that's really cool is, we've got landing pages to book buyer leads and seller leads. And we don't just push for, collecting their information. We actually try to get them to book an appointment through our system, right? Through Calendly. That's a third-party app, a scheduling software. You can hook it up to group calendars or several individuals and have all sorts of cool stuff for leads to come in. You can also use Schedule Once. There's a couple different of these things. So we have this funnel set up, this landing page funnel to book sellers through Calendly so that they book automatically. But we always have the ISAs follow up. And this person booked it for November. We probably should tweak the settings, or maybe it was an error and not allow them to book out so far in advance. But I just like I like to put automation in it as much as possible. And I like that, Calendly and Schedule Once allows you to book leads automatically. I think you should still follow up with a live human being, right? But it's just an awesome tool to use if you guys are not using it. So go ahead and tell them the third example now.
Yeah. So the third one was somebody who was looking at the value of their home. I called him up, and he is definitely looking to make a move, but he said, well, I'm going out of town, why don't you give me a call back? And I was thinking about penciling him in. When I hear go out of town, I'm like, all right, well, let's pencil in a date for when you call back. But he said 10 days. So it was next month. And I heard that, and I was like, man, it's going to be tough to pencil in so far out. I would have, but, I'm looking at the calendar. I'm like, well, hey, we can do that. We can call you when you come back. But, we actually have some time open tomorrow morning. How about tomorrow morning? And he goes, yeah, I can make tomorrow morning work. If you want to do it, come on over. So another example of where I could have just said, yeah, okay, I'll call you back. But just kind of having that sense of urgency, making sure that you're always, I heard a a quote once. I always think about it. I think Mike Tyson said it. It's throw every punch with murderous intent. So every opportunity you get, you got to go for it. And I'm like, man, I'm on the phone. I've been calling for hours. He's here. I know he's going to sell another $1 million+ seller. I said, hey, let's do it tomorrow morning. Let's make it happen. And guess what? We're going in tomorrow morning. We'll be knocking on his door. So
yeah, I like that one, man. I mean, you only live once. Like, go for it. Who cares if you get rejected 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times? In fact, it normally takes on average 6 or 7 times to get the sale. I think less than 5% happen on the first ask. So, the call me back or call you later, it's just an objection that you need to blow through. Sean's got a question here. Do we have any ClickFunnels templates? We do have some we can share with you, Sean. So drop me an email or send us an email at info@hyperfastagent.com. I'll write that in there, guys, just so you know. Ryan, great question. We've been using ClickFunnels since, I don't know, almost a year ago now, maybe a little less, but I love the concept. Websites are kind of cluttered. It's like a maze. You're giving consumers multiple actions. That's hard for them to do. A funnel, a landing page. It just creates one page where they get information that you want them to receive, and they can take one action. And we've really found that effective in booking our more seller leads, getting more buyer leads, all that kind of stuff. It's super effective, right? So we're getting more leads because of it, and it's working. Had a question here about advice for finding off-market investment opportunities. You got to be active. You got to like network with top agents, top developers. We've found a lot recently from architects and designers, right, who have guys who are just trying to flip projects. So we've actually closed on one last week. We're closing on one in another couple of weeks. We are closing on one in like 60 days. So we've got I don't know, I've lost count. We probably have like 30 or 40 units total. Carrie and I raise money, find deals, invest. We're usually out in a year or two. Our investors make a great return. They love it. But those are a couple ways that we've found them. Landlords are a good way. And of course, because a lot of times people, if they're renting 1 unit, 2 units, if they can't take a vacancy hit, right? So a lot of times they get scared and they'll just dump it quick. So landlords are a good resource. Also looking at tax records, and you want, tax liens, but that's a great source too, but just tax records in general. And you want to look for high land value, low improvement value, long-term ownership. Those are great people to door knock on, send letters to. So those are just a few ways that we do that. Someone asked a question here. How do I get tickets to Ryan Serhant? We're giving away a free one soon, but you can go to that bit.ly link. I put it in one of the comments. I'll see if I can pin it. I can't pin it but it's the bit.ly /summit pre-launch. The SP and L are capitalized in that. So make sure you get that right. Builders, and I'm reading another question here. Builders and sales associates are turning my agents away because they work with Open Door already. How do we get in? Well, you got to have a better value proposition. You got to be able to offer them a better net result, right? Have it and have, data to back that up, testimonials to back that up, and then just, go in there with certainty, right? That you're going to get the deal done. You're going to get them a better net, increase certainty, increase their bottom line. Carl, glad you're on here. Great to see you. Man, it was great seeing you last year at the event, and that was an awesome event with Grant Cardone and Billie Jean. And this year, it's going to be twice as much fun, 2 days as long. We're going to have an amazing lineup. You guys are going to be blown away by it. Good. Oh, that was a good question. Dustin might want to answer. So seller submits a request for a CMA. We use a home eval tool that spits out an automatic thing. We caveat that with email follow-up that, no machine, no computer is going to spit out as good of a valuation as a local expert selling tons of home in their area. But you want to follow up. What do we say? We want to follow up often, early, and aggressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So jump on that, right when they request. Our goal is what, within how many minutes?
Under 5 at least.
We want to get back to them within 5 minutes. We want to follow up often after that. And we want to be aggressive, overcome those objections. Any more advice on the follow-up? We automate a lot of it too. So you want to automate as much as you can through your CRM.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody submits a valuation request, our best way that we get results is by hitting them right away, a call right away. And, even a lot of times leads will come in and they'll say, my time frame is 6 months, 12 months. I'm not even planning on selling. And, sometimes our ISAs get a little discouraged when they see something like that come in. But I can't tell you how many I call, and, it's completely different than what they put on the inquiry. So the important thing is to call every single one of them, because you really don't know until you call. So if somebody wanted a CMA evaluation, I mean, we're, of course, going to give them a call, tell them, if we can swing by and take a quick tour of the home, we'll be able to give them a much more precise number on what they'll be able to sell for. Doesn't cost anything, commits them to nothing, but us being able to see the inside of their home is really going to make a difference. So, we have some time open on Tuesday, or Saturday is better for you. We just go right into the close, and we get a lot of appointments off that.
And Sean, you got some great questions there. So we use Infusionsoft as our CRM, and I will admit, if you are smaller or starting out, it can be a beast in terms of like just the overall kind of cost and complexity. We have someone on staff who just works on that, so it may not be the best for everyone. I also like RealVolve. That's a great one that I've heard great things about. Whatever CRM you go with, pick the one that you'll commit to and actually use. Mm-hmm. They all have pros, they all have cons. And, it's the same thing. My dad always asked me, like, what's the best exercise to do? And I always tell him the one that you're going to do consistently. So same thing with CRMs, like pick the one that you are going to use consistently. Carl, what did you learn from the digital summit that you're already applying in your business? A ton. We interviewed like 30 people for that. And, man, there's so much. Like Tessa Bella, she comes to mind, for example. She's great on Instagram, 23 years old, did like 20 million last year organically on Instagram, like 20 million in sales organically. So I learned a lot of interesting tips from her. One specific technique that's easy to do is, when you're on Instagram, you've noticed they've rolled out IGTV, which, you look at your phone like this when you're using IGTV, right? It's vertical. A lot of people are struggling to create vertical stuff because they're used to YouTube, which is widescreen, right? And, when it first came out, a lot of people would have a graphic like rotate your phone, but people weren't rotating it. It wasn't a great user experience, right? So how do you make stuff like, that's vertical? Well, you can use InShot and other apps. It makes it really easy to take a horizontal thing and do it like that. But one easy way is to just go live, right? Go live on your phone. Go live on your phone on Instagram. And not a lot of people are on Instagram Live typically, except for like the huge accounts that have hundreds of thousands of followers. So, don't expect a lot of people on there, but it does like push you to the top of the stories, right? And before you shut it down, before you share it, click on the top right, click save. Now you've got the video already formatted in that 9:16 vertical orientation for IGTV. So that was one great tip I learned. Greg McDaniel, I learned a ton from him. He had some really awesome ideas on just low cost camera equipment that anyone could use that was, really affordable. He also had, he talked about a Groupon strategy where you actually help local businesses. You look for local businesses that are running Groupon ads. You go to them and say, hey, I'll drive more traffic to your Groupon ads. You run a cheap ad for them. like $50, right? $100. And then you start asking them for referrals. So it's the Gary V kind of model, just an example of how to implement it, where you give, then ask. So that was another, cool tip that I used. If there's no other questions, guys, it's time to reveal the winner of the HyperFast Sales Summit ticket. And it is Sean Dezid. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but Sean, you won the tickets. I think we got your email in the comments, so we'll take care of you. We'll hook you up. Everyone else, and Sean too, share our channel, get other people to subscribe. We're only a few hundred subscribers away from getting to 1,000. When I get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel, I'm giving away another ticket. All right, so share, everyone. I mentioned earlier that some stuff about the inner circle. Tomorrow, I'm going live in my inner circle group with a really cool negotiation trick that I actually implemented last week and got a really awesome development deal. So if you're not in the inner circle, check that out. You can test drive it for $1. There's a link in there, and I'll see you guys later. Have an amazing day.